going to have to skip right through the intro on this one because I have some very, very important breaking news. Stop what you're doing. Gather the family around the television. This is urgent, and I need all of your undivided attention. As you all already know, Demi Lovato stopped the entire world a while back when she announced that her pronouns were now they, them. Well, now, in a shocking turn of events, Demi Lovato has had a change of heart, and she is now changing her pronouns back to she, her. This is by far the biggest news story of our lifetimes. Never mind the fact that we are on the verge of a food shortage. Never mind the fact that we are on the brink of World War III. Demi Lovato's pronouns are the most important thing on Earth and quite possibly the entire galaxy. But let's just go ahead and hear what Demi Lovato has to say.
I've actually adopted the pronouns of she, her again. So for me, I'm such a fluid person that I don't find that I felt like, especially last year, my energy was balanced and my masculine and feminine energy. So that when I was faced with the choice of walking into a bathroom and it said women and men, I didn't feel like there was a bathroom for me because I didn't feel necessarily like a woman. I didn't feel like a man. I just felt like a human. And that's what they, them is about for me. It's just about like feeling human at your core. Recently, I've been feeling more.
Oh my God. I hope you all did not think that I was being serious in my intro. However, Demi Lovato is being dead serious with what she just said. She didn't know what bathroom to use. She feels as if there's not a bathroom for her. Well, here's a little tip. If you're having a hard time figuring out if you pee while standing up or if you pee while sitting down, maybe, just maybe, you should go in the back alley and pop a squat right next to the dumpster. Then she goes so far as to act as if she has this unique experience that other people don't have, this experience of feeling like a human being inside. As if there's not billions upon billions of other human beings on planet Earth that I would assume also feel like human beings. I mean, hell, I'm feeling like a human being right now. That doesn't mean I'm going to go put a dress on, chop my wee-wee off, and change my name to Sarah. I mean, how out of touch with reality do you have to be to make a statement like that one? But it goes to show the mentality of these people. A lot of them don't want to be human. And let's be honest, a lot of them don't look human either. A lot of them look like straight up demon spawns. And they all have this weird, crazy look in their eyes. You know the look that I'm talking about. And some of them even go so far as to dress like cats and dogs. And they call themselves furries because they absolutely despise being a human being. Why? Because being a human being comes with certain rules and regulations. Not rules and regulations created by religion. Not rules and regulations created by the government. Not rules and regulations created by society. Rules and regulations that were created by reality, that were created by biology. There's no denying the fact that there are only two genders. Now, of course, you could be a feminine man or you can be a masculine woman. And hell, I honestly don't care what you identify as long as you're not bothering anyone else. But you see, Demi Lovato has a privilege that a lot of young people don't have today. What is that privilege, you ask? Well, Demi Lovato has the privilege of changing her mind. So many young kids these days, young people, they don't have the privilege of changing their mind. They're taking mind and body altering medication that will have lasting and irreversible effects on their body. Some of them are getting bottom surgery and top surgery. So if they wake up one day like Demi Lovato and they choose to change their pronouns and their identity back to their original gender, it's too late. Young women are waking up and they're feeling feminine and they're feeling like they want to be a woman. And then they look down and where their breast used to be, it's just scars and scar tissue. Young men are waking up feeling like, you know what? Maybe I am a man. Maybe I am a boy. And then they have to look down and realize, that's a tad bit too late. You already cut your little thing off. So you see, a lot of these people, they don't have the privilege of reversing the effects that this pronoun garbage and this trans agenda has had on them. And I find that really sad. And I also find it disgusting that people like Demi Lovato, they like to prance around and play around with this pronoun stuff while they simultaneously drag their fan base down with them. So many young people who are confused about their genders were following up with Demi Lovato this whole time. Meanwhile, she never took it seriously at all. Most of these people, I'll go so far as to say this, 99.9% of the people who are pushing this trans and pronoun agenda, they aren't taking it seriously. A lot of them do it for attention. A lot of them do it because they have no friends and they feel like if they cling to some type of movement, then they will be accepted. The reality is a lot of them aren't even with the same stuff that they're pushing on to your kids. And Demi Lovato is directly responsible for influencing other people to go down this path. The only problem is Demi Lovato turned around and walked right back down that path, and now she's a she/her again. But a lot of your kids aren't going to have that privilege. A lot of your kids are going to turn around and walk back down that path and realize that it's now been closed because they have done too much to themselves, too much irreversible damage to themselves. You have to realize, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what these people say. Hell, I don't care what you say. This stuff is a phase. It's a phase that a lot of kids are going through because they are being influenced to do so by society, by music, by the entertainment industry, and by their own teachers. You have no idea. A lot of you all have no idea what's going on at school right now. A lot of you all are sending your kids back to school this week, the first week of school. You have no idea that some of these teachers, they have closets in school with chest binders for your daughters. So if your daughters feel like they want to look like a little boy, they go to their teacher will provide them a chest binder. It's not good for their health, by the way, so they could appear like a little boy. And then you pick them up from school, they go ahead and turn their chest binder in, and they walk out as if nothing happens. Your kids are being indoctrinated at school. They're being indoctrinated when they're playing their video games. They're being indoctrinated when they watch television. Hell, half of the movies out there no longer even have a plot or a real story. It's just all agenda 24/7. And then here we have people like Demi Lovato, people in Hollywood who are just going out of their way to promote this whenever they can, even though this is a perfect example that this is just a phase. That you might wake up tomorrow and just decide, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not this gender. Maybe I am actually a girl. But by then it is way too late for a lot of these young people. That's why we need to start speaking up. You need to start calling it out. You need to make sure what's going on at your kids' schools, because I can tell you right now, there is so much stuff going on in today's world that would absolutely disgust you. You have or some of you all have no clue the extent these people will go to indoctrinate your kids. You have to realize most of these people cannot have kids of their own. They're taking so much medication, they're chopping this off, they're adding that, and most of them can't even have kids. So what do? They want your kids. They can't reproduce, and they can't create people who they can indoctrinate with their beliefs, so they try to indoctrinate your kids. They can't reproduce and make their own kids. Most of them don't even have their own families, so they're coming for your family. They're coming for your kids. Demi Lovato, I think you're absolutely disgusting for sitting here and playing around like you're confused about your gender when we all know that you're doing it to remain relevant. So many people in Hollywood, they're going along with all of this stuff because it gets them jobs, it gets them recognition, and for some reason it gets them fans. A lot of other people who are confused about themselves, they cling to other confused people, and then what do you have? A giant ball of confusion that leads to nothing but death. And, people attempting to take their own lives. Do you not realize that this is not natural? Like the progression of this whole trans and pronoun thing, it's not natural. Look at the percentages. Look at the numbers. Do you think that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like so many kids just all of a sudden started experiencing gender dysphoria? Do you think that just for no reason, we just woke up one day and hell, oh my God, all of these kids are confused about their genders? No, there has been been an agenda behind the scenes for a while now to confuse kids, to confuse you all at home. It's taking place every day. This isn't a natural progression of society. Kids aren't all of a sudden more, confused about their gender than they were 10 years ago. There's a reason behind that. It's all manufactured. It's not natural. And then look at the percentages of, let's say, trans kids or whatever these people like to identify themselves as. It's like, according to where you're at, there's more of them. Like, there's way more trans, pronoun kids in California than down in Florida or in Georgia or in South Carolina or in Texas or you name it. It's like wherever people with this certain ideology live and reside at, that's where the numbers increase. And that should show you right there that it's not natural. Do you think kids are like, oh, I'm confused about my gender, but you know what? I live in South Carolina, so I know that I'm actually a boy. No. It's like this stuff is almost region locked. Like certain regions of our country are experiencing this as more of a problem than others. Why? I mean, it's really not too hard to put two and two together, but I'll allow you all to do that math. But also, is it not narcissistic to think that people should even be concerned or care about what your pronouns are or what gender you decide to be today? When I walk down the street and I got to handle some business, I'm not passing people like, oh, I wonder what their pronouns are. Oh, I wonder who they like to have sex with. I don't care. I literally do not care what your pronouns are. I don't care who you like to sleep with. That doesn't matter to me. But to these people, they think they're the center of the universe. Everyone must know my correct pronouns. Everyone needs to know my sexuality. And then they prance around and they parade around with their new pronouns and their new gender identity. And everyone throws flowers at them and they act as if this is so brave. It's so brave of you to say that you're a woman today. Oh, Demi Lovato, it's so brave that you don't know what bathroom to use. It's like we are applauding and cheering on straight up mental illnesses in every single direction I look in today's society. Look over here, someone applauding this mental illness. Look over there, someone's applauding this mental illness. And then you wonder why we are at where we're at right now. Why there's so much crime. Why there is such an influx of people taking their own lives because they're being confused by idiots like Demi Lovato. But I could say so much about this situation, but I want to know your thoughts. What do you all think? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all on the next video.